All right, so today we're diving deep into something I find completely fascinating, the small intestine meridian in traditional Chinese medicine.
Oh, absolutely fascinating stuff. It really highlights the difference in perspective between Eastern and Western medicine.
Yeah, and it really makes you think about all those sayings about, like, you are what you eat, but in a whole new way.
Right. It's not just about digestion, though, is it?
No, not at all.
Mhm.
We're talking about a whole network of energy points, this meridian, running all the way from, get this, your pinky finger to your ear.
It's remarkable, really impacting everything from headaches to hearing to even lactation.
Okay, wait, you're really going to have to break that down for me. How does my pinky finger influence, well, anything beyond my hand, really?
Well, let's start at the beginning, shall we? The first point on the small intestine meridian, SI1, also known as Shaoze.
Chaosis. Okay.
It's located right at the tip of your pinky finger, and traditionally it's been used to stimulate lactation.
Oh, hold on. My pinky finger can help with lactation. That's wild. I mean, how is that even possible?
That's the thing about TCM. It's all about the flow of qi, that vital energy, throughout the entire body. And sometimes the connections seem surprising at first.
You're not kidding. So stimulating that one point on my pinky can somehow impact, okay, I'm not even going to try to wrap my head around that right now. But what happens as we move down the meridian? What's next?
So next we come to SI2, or Qiangu. And this point is all about clearing heat from the body. So think about those times you've stayed up too late, maybe staring at a screen.
Oh, tell me about it.
Your eyes might feel strained, your neck gets stiff, you might even feel a little bit agitated.
Okay, yeah, I'm definitely familiar with that feeling.
Well, SI2 is often used to address those kinds of issues.
Huh, interesting. So we're talking eye health, neck tension,
Yeah.
all connected to this one point on my pinky finger.
That's the beauty of it. And we're just getting started. So moving right along, we arrive at SI3. Now this point is on the side of your hand, right before the wrist.
Ugh. You know, I was just thinking, I feel that spot all the time when I'm typing. Is that bad? Like, is my laptop messing with my meridian flow or something?
It's funny you should say that. It's probably just a coincidence, but SI3 is actually related to the neck, back, and even up to the head.
Really?
Wow.
So if you're feeling stiff or sore in those areas, this is a point that a TCM practitioner might focus on.
Exactly. And it really highlights how interconnected everything is.
It really does. So that's SI3. What about SI4?
All right, so SI4, also called Wangu, is located on the inside of your wrist in line with your pinky finger, kind of tucked in that little hollow just below your palm.
Okay, I think I feel it.
Now, at this point, it's known for addressing wrist pain, swelling, that kind of thing. But it also, and this might surprise you, has a connection to urinary issues and even pain in the arm and shoulder.
Wait, hold up. Urinary issues. How does stimulating a point on my wrist help with something like that?
That's a great question, and it brings up a really important point about how TCM views the body. It's not about treating parts in isolation, but rather about understanding how energy flows through the entire system and how imbalances in one area can manifest as symptoms in another.
So it's like our bodies have these hidden pathways, and what might seem like totally unrelated issues are actually linked in ways we don't always realize.
Precisely.
This is blowing my mind.
All right.
Onward. What about SI5? Where does that take us?
Right, so SI5 or Yanggu is on the pinky side of your wrist, kind of a mirror image of SI4.
Got it.
And this one's a bit of a multitasker. In TCM, it's believed to clear heat from the heart. And it's even used in cases of what we might call epilepsy today, or severe anxiety conditions that involve these sudden bursts of energy or emotion.
So it's like, I don't know, pressure valve for the heart. That's really interesting.
Exactly. Now, if we continue to move up the arm, we reach SI6, Yanglao, and this point is particularly interesting.
Oh, why that?
Well, in TCM, it's considered especially important for maintaining vitality as we age.
Really? So it's not just about addressing specific ailments, but about supporting overall longevity and well-being.
Exactly. It's about promoting the smooth flow of qi, which is essential for healthy aging. Oh, and of course, it can help with those more immediate things too, like pain and stiffness in the shoulders and arms.
Right, of course. This meridian really does cover it all. What's next on our journey up the arm? So we're venturing further up the arm now. What's next on our small intestine meridian adventure?
Well, we're moving into a really interesting area with SI7 called Zhizheng. This point is located about 5 finger widths above SI6, so still on that forearm.
Okay, I'm following along, about 5 finger widths. Got it. So what's so interesting about SI7?
Well, it's one of the first points we encounter on this meridian that has such a strong connection to the mind.
Hold on, the mind. We're taking the small intestine, right? I'm a little lost.
And that's what makes TCM so fascinating. It recognizes that our physical and mental states are inseparable. They're two sides of the same coin. Think of SI7 as a pressure release valve for anxiety, stress. It can even help alleviate fever.
I love those visual metaphors. So it's
And
about calming those internal fires,
yeah,
both literally and figuratively, right?
exactly. And this theme continues as we continue up the arm to SI8 or Xiaohai, which sits right at the elbow joint.
Another point for both body and mind. Okay, you've got to tell me more about this one.
Imagine someone dealing with elbow pain. Pretty straightforward, right? But they're also feeling agitated, maybe even experiencing what we might call a manic episode today. SI8 is often used to address both.
Wow. I never would have guessed that elbow pain and those kinds of intense emotions could be linked in that way.
It's amazing, isn't it? It really shows how interconnected everything is within the system. SI8 is also thought to be helpful for clearing heat and reducing swelling, especially in the glands.
So we're seeing this pattern, physical symptoms and emotional or mental components all intertwined. This is really making me rethink things.
That's the beauty of TCM. It's not just about treating symptoms, but about understanding the root cause and how these imbalances manifest. It's a completely different way of thinking about health and well-being.
It really is. Okay, let's keep climbing this meridian. Where do we end up next?
We're moving to the shoulder now with SI9 or Jianzhen, and this point is basically your new best friend if you have any shoulder pain or stiffness.
Okay, I'm listening intently because I think my shoulders and I have a complicated relationship.
Well, you're definitely not alone. Shoulder tension is incredibly common these days. Think frozen shoulder, rotator cuff injuries, that kind of thing. Jianzhen is a go-to point in TCM for addressing those issues.
Makes sense. I feel like I carry all my stress in my shoulders, and I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that.
Absolutely. It's almost a universal experience these days. And just a bit above SI9, we find SI10, Naoshu. It's also great for releasing shoulder and arm pain.
So it's like this 1-2 punch for shoulder relief, SI9 and SI10.
You got it. By stimulating both points, you're really encouraging that flow of qi in the entire area, which is essential for relieving pain and restoring mobility.
I am so ready to evict some of these shoulder knots. Okay, what's next on our meridian map?
We're moving to a point called SI11 or Tianzong, which is located on your shoulder blade. Now this one's a bit of an overachiever.
Oh, in what way?
Well, not only does it address pain and stiffness in the shoulder and upper back, but it's also traditionally used to benefit the breasts.
Wait, back to the breasts. This meridian is truly a wild ride. What does TCM say about SI11 and breast health?
It's often used for issues like pain, swelling, and even like we talked about with SI1 to promote lactation. It all comes back to that idea of regulating the flow of qi in the area.
I'm definitely starting to see how connected everything is, even if I don't fully understand all the mechanisms yet. It's pretty remarkable. What's next?
So moving down the shoulder blade just a bit, we come to SI12. Or Bingfeng. Right in the center, you'll find it.
Got it. Center of the shoulder blade, SI12.
And this point, it's another one that targets shoulder and upper back pain, but it's also thought to help clear what TCM calls wind.
Wind. Like a physical breeze. I'm not sure I'm following.
Not quite. In TCM, wind is this pathogenic factor that can disrupt the flow of qi and lead to various imbalances. It's often associated with sudden changes, like a quick shift in weather or even a sudden emotional upset.
Fascinating. So it's like SI12 is our protector from those disruptive winds, both internal and external.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm ready for the next stop on our meridian journey. What's next?
As we continue our descent down the back, we come to SI13, Quyuan. You can locate this point on the inner edge of your shoulder blade.
Okay, inner edge of the shoulder blade. Got it.
And this point, it's all about releasing deep-seated tension in the upper back and shoulders.
It's like this meridian is systematically targeting all those tight spots we tend to accumulate just by living in the modern world.
You said it. And just a tad further down, we find SI14, Jianwaishu, which sits a couple of inches from your spine, level with your heart. This one's especially helpful for relieving pain and stiffness in the upper back and shoulders, often related to poor posture or overuse.
I know so many people who struggle with those issues these days. I bet this point gets a lot of attention.
Oh, you bet. And just below Jianwaishu, we have SI15, Jianzhongshu.
Wow, we're really getting into the thick of it now, aren't we?
Yeah.
What's special about SI15?
This point, it's like a key to unlocking tension in the neck, shoulders, and upper back. It's often used to alleviate headaches, especially those stemming from stiff necks or, again, poor posture.
I'm noticing a lot of these points seem to have a connection to headaches.
That's the power of TCM, though, right? It helps us see these connections we might not otherwise make and gives us tools to actually do something about it.
That's a really good point. So where to next on the small intestine meridian express?
Next stop is SI-16, or Tianchuang. And this point, we're moving from the upper back to the side of the neck.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to visualize it as we go.
So Tianchuang, it's all about soothing the throat, both physically and emotionally.
Okay, now that's fascinating. So if you have a sore throat, but maybe you're also feeling super anxious or you've been holding back tears, this point could be beneficial.
That's exactly right. TCM practitioners often use this point to address hoarseness, difficulty swallowing, even conditions like insomnia or anxiety where there's that feeling of constriction in the throat.
It's like it's helping to release that blocked energy on multiple levels. I love it. Okay, what's next on our meridian map?
Just below Tianchuang, we have SI-17 Tianrong. You can find it by feeling for that little hollow just behind your jawbone.
We're getting close to the ear now, aren't we?
We are, and Tianrong reflects that. It's often used to address ear problems, things like tinnitus, earaches, even hearing loss. But it's also considered helpful for throat issues, things like swelling, pain, even swollen lymph nodes in the neck.
So many benefits packed into these points. Okay, I'm eager to hear about the last few. What's coming up next?
Almost there. Just below the ear now, we've got SI-18 Quanliao.
Quanliao, okay.
This point is all about relieving tension and pain in the face.
The face. Interesting.
Think jaw pain, toothaches, even facial paralysis.
So like if you have TMJ or you clench your jaw when you're stressed, this could be a helpful point to focus on.
You got it. It's all about calming those nerves and muscles in the face and promoting that smooth flow of qi.
I can feel myself relaxing just thinking about it. Okay, this has been quite the journey, but I'm ready to reach our final destination. What awaits us at SI-19?
Well, we've reached the end of the line, my friend. SI-19, Tinggong. And it's located right in front of your ear canal.
So we started at the pinky finger, and we've arrived at the ear, addressing so many different parts of the body along the way. It's really incredible when you think about it.
It really is a beautiful example of how TCM views the body as this interconnected system where everything is linked.
This has been an incredible journey, and I feel like I've learned so much.